Hey guys, so quiet night tonight, hopefully no distractions and no noise. I have kind of bad news. It seems that the doubters have been proved correct to a degree, and that is, I think that 6400 plus on AMD might actually be out of reach, and for a number of reasons. Um, so as you can see, I just finished 25 cycles of one osmos. Took about 1 hour and 50 minutes. Not a terrible completion time, but not particularly insane if you guys have been used to one osmos on a Raptor Lake and stuff like that. Timings wise, I do have some rules here. I do have some like structure. As you can see, you probably noticed that there are no like willy-nilly things. It's more like they kind of has like there's an order to them, right? You can probably tell that there's not like any weird like super tight timings or like so basically these aren't like random settings. These are like actual thought out settings. And I'm just gonna put the timing rules here for any of you Zen guys watching this video. The timing rules right now are just like this. So at this moment, tRAS is going to be equal to TRCD RD plus TRP plus TRTP. I just kind of I've noticed this formula around like with XMP kits and stuff, and I just thought what, it's a fine formula. TRC is always equal to tRAS plus TRP. These two, and then you can see that I'm regarding TRD. I'm regarding. Now this is important because otherwise what I do later won't make a lot of sense. So as far as I understand, they can be equal, or the CCD timings can be less, but it should be equal more or less. I've seen on Intel as well. Usually they train in the same, so it's about the same. We're doing T4 equals to 4 multiplied by TRDS. It's not technically required, but I am sticking to our old ruling. I'm doing tWTRS in L618, so tBURST should actually be 3 as far as I understand, but right now we're doing like right now rule we're following is let me just Google that real quick. Hold on, guys. Let me just check for a second. Make 100% sure. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've got to upload this. Yep, there we go. Wait, no, this one. Yeah, and I'll show you guys some more stuff to elaborate. Plus, I will obviously comment on the elephant in the room that you guys probably want to know about. Because I'm assuming you guys know that I've already like checked everything out, and the whole Ryzen CPUs dying thing. Don't worry, guys. I'm sure you guys have seen other tech tubers, but my take will be coming in this video. I still have till 2 AM to record, so we're all good. But I just want to make sure for you guys that tBURST on DDR5. Let's see. I bet it's on OCN, but let's see if we can find it here. It's not BL. BL is something else. We're talking about tBURST. tBURST should be 3, guys. It should be 3, but let me just make 100% sure. Okay, not OneDrive. Sorry, guys. Well, look, this is my style of video, so you guys really come to get used to it. That I'm always like doing stuff in real time, but I would like to think it makes the content seem more authentic, but I don't know. Maybe that's scope. It will be in this thread if it's in this thread. It will be a tBURST is 3. There we go. Hey, Vey did it. So Vey to the rescue. Vey to the rescue. Thank you, Vey. Yeah, alright. tBURST is 3, so we're good. tWTRS equals tBURST multiplied by 3 tWTRL and RL equals tBURST multiplied by now 6. Now this isn't really a requirement. This is kind of just, I just did that. But this should actually be kind of a requirement. This should be a requirement. As far as I understand from AMD's, at least how the D4 worked from reading some stuff online, this should be like more or less what would be correct. And it ended up working quite well here. And now we're doing TWR 54. And you're wondering what the hell is going on there? Why is it 54 Dane? Why not 48? So as you guys know, or if you don't know, Ryzen caps at 48, which it should be capped at. Intel guys run 12 and 16 and 20 and all these weird values and 0 and -5 and -10 and -500. I don't know why, but they do, and it has no bearing performance, but what do I know? So TWR is tWTRL plus, I think it is cuss, tCuss plus B chop or burst chop. So BL. Guys, burst length is not a timing. Like, burst length is not a timing. It's not a timing. There's no timing called burst length. That's just or burst chop or whatever. There's no timing. So BL is 16. So I'm gonna say BL divided by 2, where BL equals to 16, which is burst length. Burst chop is this, so we have 54. I'm not gonna. So, right. If you want to look at it, RFC, nothing special there. If you're wondering, if you know anyone that does overclocking is like, whoa, that's quite high. No, it isn't. Why is TRFC 1 so high at 600 Dane? Because Ryzen uses tRFC AB, or I could say all bank, and it's a lot different, basically. So cap is circa, I don't know, 122 nanoseconds for most kits around there. I think I've seen one person at like 120. I don't even know. Some guys get 122. I just decided 129. I'm not gonna have a headache. So yeah. Yeah. Cap is circa for a die Hynix or 5H16A more particularly, and it is the fastest. It is the tightest. Other ICs do terrible values. Like Samsung is like a crime, dude. Samsung does like 260 nanoseconds of TRFC all bank. It's like criminal, guys. It's insane. And as you can see by my ridiculous, 2 and AB value, SB values, these are not activated. Quite obviously, these are completely dormant. They don't exist on Ryzen for now. The future might hold different, but and even you can even notice that the tertiaries, like I thought that this and this was like, Intel have like the whole different rank, different DIMM type thing. So we all thought like, being smart, like, oh, DD is different DIMM, and well, actually these existed on D4 as well, and D4 did have ranks obviously, but thing is, these aren't actually they're not ranked timings. They're not like, they're actually timings. Like, so a lot of guys set them to 1, and I don't know exactly what happens. I believe it's an autocorrect type thing that happens if you set them to 1. Like you know how you over tighten TRAS, so you tighten TRAS to like 28, and then it still like works. Same idea, right? But this causes autocorrection, hence performance loss when set to 1. You can set them to 1. You shouldn't set them to 1, but whatever. Do what you want to do. So yeah, these SD and DD timings on Ryzen, they do have value. They aren't just random timings. They do actually exist. They're not the different rank, different DIMM timings. So yes, very important. So now the SCLs. So Ryzen SCLs. my take from reading. Or let me just do this. So I read like a thick piece of paragraph from like someone, I think it was Vey as well, from the D4 days of AM5, and this is what I gathered. What I gathered is TRDRD SCL equals to TCCD L. So very important is L, and that means if this was 12, this would be like, you know, you could probably guess. So yeah, 12. It's L. It's not the S timing. The S timing comes in somewhere later, but we'll get there. TWRWR SCL equals to tWTRL. There you go. And yeah, there's some other timing thing that happens, but whatever. This works. So this does work. This should work. This should be the tightest you should set it to, but whatever. Again, if Baldur watches my videos, he's probably going to be like, no, it's wrong, but I don't know. I think that's correct, but that's just me. TCWL equals tCuss minus 2. Can't modify on Ryzen. Can't modify on Zen 4. Cool. As with RCWR, you cannot modify. As with RCDWR. You can't modify it. It's stuck. It's by itself. It just does it. TRPP. Magical safe spot, could say. And then what else? TRDWR equals to what? TWR WR SCL equals to tWTRL. I'm just gonna put that in brackets. I'm just gonna say oh yeah, they said something about this should match the SCL value. I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did, but I guess cope. I'm just gonna say cope. I'll go with cope because I guess it's about that useful. I mean, I don't know if it's correct. I think it works, but I mean, whatever. Cope. TWRD must equal to either TRD SD DDs or TWR SD DDs. So we went with 8. Some guys say 2. I don't know. Good luck. TRD SC and TWR SC. By the way, guys, very simple. A few of my, like, I guess you could say acquaintances by this point, that I was speaking of Discord, like, we're confused by all these, like, weird names. It's very simple, guys. RD, read to read. WR, write to write. It's so simple. It's actually ridiculously easy. It's just literally read write. That's it. Nothing more. It's in this same triplet, same dim, different dim. Easy peasy. Like, very easy. No need to get confused. It's nothing special. It's literally as simple as you think. That's just auto. And that's same chip select. So yeah. And then yeah, TRD, RD, DD, and SC. No, sorry, SD. SD's first. SD and DD equals to, drumroll, and that is, you can guess, tWTRS equals to tBURST multiplied by 3. And yeah, these timings are on fleek. These are like some timings. These are like really like mathed out, you know what I'm saying? Like, even they would be proud, bro. Like, these are mathed out. Like, there's no way. Poke some holes, bro. I dare you. Poke some holes. There are no holes, bro. There are no holes in these timings, bro. These timings are perfect. SD/DD equals to, it's going to be TRDS equals to tCCDS. Okay, cool, perfect, great stuff. Okay, there we go. So, yeah. Okay. And TCK is 0 auto. Locked. Put that in exclamation marks. And that's about it. So, guys, if you want some advice with your Ryzen timings, if you want to, like, if you're confused, I'm just gonna say this. Primaries and T-Refi equals to voltage, 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 and heat, i.e. thermal resistance, aka voltage. Basically. Yeah, that's about it. Very simple, guys. Nothing too crazy. I hope that makes sense. So if you're struggling with Ryzen timings, have at these. If you want to use them for your 6000, 6200, these should be about as nerded out as they come. Only difference I would say is at 6000, feel free to attempt 360 on TRFC if you have balls. It probably won't work, but God bless you for trying. I mean, you might as well try it. You only live once. And if you have terrible cooling or bad sticks, just do 130, which is 390. So obviously at 6000, I'm gonna say feel free to what's a good word? I want to make it sound funny, like use and abuse these timings and throw them all over the internet. Just make sure to adjust TRFC all bank /1 for data rate. Do not attempt at 6400 to 6600. You will get violated by your IMC. Yeah, good enough. Okay. Yeah, pretty much, guys, pretty much. So, yeah, these are the timings. There they are. I can block out the nonsense a bit, but it's all good. These are the timings. There you go. Feel free to pause, zoom in if you want. Can do that. No, I can't. Lol. Yeah. So that's them. That's the elaboration. The elaboration for I don't know, 10 marks, 10 mark question. You know, these are the answers and these are the reasons. And FCLK right now, you guys can notice, is 2067. Why? Well, very simply, it's just data rate divided by 3. In other words, 1 to 1 to 1.5, which is what AMD have been running at stock when you do Expo 6000. 1 to 1 to 1.5. Some users say they get better results adding 33 megahertz. Some guys I come across say that they lose 10 nanoseconds in outta because they've broken their fabric. I don't know. It's a mess. A lot of weirdness I've observed. I have currently observed no weirdness except for one particular kind of weirdness. And it doesn't surprise me or scare me because I've seen it like, what, 1,000 times at this point. I mean, when I say I've tested the DDR5 more than most people, I really have. And what do you run to? Reboot instability. So basically, to move on, so yeah, Ryzen has retrain instability. I know because I know. I know because I know. It is 6400 does not stick. I don't know if you need a good IMC or what. I've had it stable numerous times. It always breaks. Screw it. Anyway, AMD does some weird 1T to 2T phantom training thing above 6200 anyway, so So yeah, basically, don't waste your time. It's a waste of time. You don't have to try. Don't bother. I've done the testing. You don't have to. Like, just forget about it. Get 6400 out of your mind. It's completely stupid. It doesn't make any sense to run. And now we actually have even more reason to believe so. So that brings me to the wonderful topic of today, which is dying Ryzen CPUs. Now, do I believe that this is linked to some sort of IMC rail? Personally, no, I don't. I don't believe it for a few reasons. I just do not believe, I just cannot for the life of me believe that the SoC rail is responsible for the chip death. I just don't believe it. I can't believe it. To me, it doesn't make a lot of sense, guys. So, you've seen the stress test pass, right? You've seen the Testament 5. I'm messing with it. I'm playing around with it. I'm being stupid. It's real. Obviously, you guys know I'm not faking. I don't fake my stuff, but I've got my screenshot. So, I'm happy to leave this stress test window and just start talking. Wait, no, it's not that one. It's this one. Yeah, looks good enough. What do you think? Looks good. 1.425 bolts, by the way. It's not 1.44. 1.44 sets because of V-droop. It droops down, obviously, to 1. Okay, well, that's not helpful, is it? PMIC readings are so bad. I cannot believe they enlisted, like, some of the most ghetto manufacturers. All due respect, but these PMICs have terrible, like, accuracy, dude. Like, these... I mean, like, do something. Like, do something to make the readings more, like, applicable. But, like, it's just stupid. Like, you get these most random spikes to, like, 1.7 volts and 1. It's like not even remotely, like, indicative of what's actually happening. It's so stupid. Whatever. Anyway. And also... Oh, and never mind that. Also, the freaking, like, weird temp glitches. Like, this is accurate. Like, they did it 45.5. But this 47.8 is, like, completely, like, wrong. It did never happen. It never happened. Literally, like, you can see the test was done. How did they get warmer? They didn't. It was just a bug. So stupid. But anyway, yeah, so I got my screenshot. It's uploaded. It's done. That's for my archives. Good stuff, Dane. Cool. All done. Stress test done. If you want to see my curve optimized settings, they're just completely randomly guessed out. The best core on the best CCD is doing the highest undervolt. And then the second best one is doing a slightly less undervolt. And then all the meh ones are doing this undervolt. And then the really good one of the second CCD is doing a better than normie core undervolt for that. And then this one is 14 to match the normie cores. And then these ones are all terrible and they all have terrible undervolts. There you go. Bob's uncle. Very simple. And anything else? VDDIO. Very small rail. Let me just keep this to the side because this is actually useful. I'm gonna keep these to the side. The stress test is no longer valuable, but I can keep these to the side because I want to do make some points, right? So anyway, yeah, so I can save this document for you guys if you want. I don't really know. I guess I could. I mean, like, I'll just save it as Ryzen timing. Wait, that makes no sense because oh, okay, now I can do like must be equal to Huh? Yeah. Cool. So I can save this to timing help. I can upload this if you guys want me to. I don't really mind. It's whatever. And that's about it. So just scroll down. Okay, so anyway. Okay. Look guys, come look here. So as you can see, this is a 2.5 hour window. This has been running during my test. Now look at this, please come look. SoC current, right, 16 amps max. Now what does that equate to? It equates to 20 watts, guys. 20 watts, okay? CPU core current, running testbem 5, which by the way never went above, wait, what is that, 79C? Okay, that's initializing the test. That's initializing the test. Like, during the test run, like 50 something. It initializes the test and it does spike a little bit, like a tiny bit, but not really like nothing to write home about, but like, yeah, so it does spike a little bit, but it's like, during the actual test run, it's like 50 C. I know because my AIO fans would have ramped up to 100%, they don't, and testbem 5 has never been a heavy load, but even in testbem 5, your CPU is drawing, what, like 100 watts, right? Easily. A lot of the time, I mean, Ryzen, yeah, easy, and then during Y Cruncher, like 80 watts, in gaming, 100 watts, the vehicle power rail is extremely heavy, and it's powered by a behemoth of a, you know, backbone. It's a behemoth. The vehicle power rail on any board is behemoth compared to anything else. It's just the most abundant in terms of power stages and everything. It's just the most, you know, it has to be the most over-engineered rail to avoid failures, because failures often result in dead CPUs, which is not ideal for a brand. You know, if you're selling a board that kills CPUs, you become like Asus with their ROG, what's it called again? ROG, what's it called again? Thingy. What's it called, man? Rampage. The Rampage 4, and I think the Apex, the Rampage X299 Apex, and I think it was the Rampage 4. Not the Black Edition, like the previous one. Oh, Rampage 3 or something. Rampage 6. Rampage 6 Apex. Rampage 4. Yeah, Rampage 4. X79 Rampage. That one, I think. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, who cares? Yeah. You don't want to kill the CPU, so you have to make sure the VRM is, like, you know, very, very chilled. Literally and figuratively. So, this VRM on my board, 16 vCore phases. You could say phases. They're in parallel. I know because there's like a fine print somewhere on my phone when I look at this thing. It says parallel. Doesn't matter. Whatever. The point is 16 power stages, 70 amps each, which is a max current capability of what, like, you know, easy over, you know, a ton of amperage, more than you'd ever need. I mean, a gargantuan amount. Like, if you could cool this, I mean, you'd need, like, I don't even know what you'd need. Or someone else, I don't even know. You could never run this on a Logan CPU, right? SoC is 2 power stages, and so is MISC. Literally, like, okay, well, MISC is somehow a 90 amp. Why is MISC a 90 amp? What the hell? Why is MISC a 90 amp component? What? That's strange. It's a strange design choice. Weird. Anyway, I don't care. I know why. MISC probably has iGPU power as well. I'm assuming. I guess. Maybe. Yes, it is. Wait. No, SoC. SoC has iGPU. But why does SoC have worse phases then? I don't know. Who cares? I don't care. Yeah, let's not get sidetracked, guys. So basically what I'm trying to say is, okay, basically, long and short of it is, VDDCR MISC and VDDCR SoC have a, like, vast discrepancy in current output and all, I say, and most, not if not all, most if not all chips portray the pad damage near VDDCR VDD. It's the V-core power. So this one. VDD pads, CPU cache, and powered by main gargantuan VRM. Okay, so basically, I am completely on board with Bulldoid. I just struggle to believe that the SoC or MISC rails could somehow conjure up enough oomph to actually burn pads. It would take a extremely long amount of time for that to happen. I mean, compare the V-core versus... Okay, if there was a short on the IMC, which there could be. I mean, oxide breakdown can happen anywhere, right? So if you put like 1.9 volts SoC, of course you're going to kill the CPU. What do you mean? Of course you are. So like, yeah, sure. I mean... Or like you know, Frame Chasers dealer did the CPU and like, yeah, the IO die cracked in the middle with his new chip. The video from yesterday. So yeah, I mean, look, sure, if you crack the IO die or your CPU dies because of oxide breakdown, which is basically just, you know, microscopic breaks in the layers, or in the gates, I mean, in like the actual transistors, yeah, you're gonna have a short, obviously. I mean, that's standard. I mean, the CPU's dead. It's dead. It means there's a short inside the silicon. Just like when a GPU die cracks, you have a short. The GPU die becomes shorted. There you go. And obviously, a short draws heat. We all know this. If you watch any sort of like, you know, Chris Fix or Northridge Fix, whatever, any there's a American one. There's an American channel as well. Anyway, any fix channel, you notice like a short means heat. When you power a short or you power a rail that has a short in it, that short's area becomes warm because it's drawing way more power than it should be drawing. Basically, honestly, myself, I'm not an engineer and I don't really care too much for it, but the most important aspect to grasp from this is that when there's a short, the short will like kind of suck up a unreasonable amount of current, more than it should, and it's uncontrolled. It has no operation, so it has no idea what it's doing. It's just sucking up power and it's heating up, and that's why you can use voltage injections to, you know, notice shorts on like, you know, thermal imaging cameras. Now, what I think happens is oxide breakdown occurs on either a V-core, say wire or transistor, or a IO die transistor, basically, right? And the CPU is instantly dead upon initialization. Why do I say this? Because, guys, have you noticed how no one says their PC turns off? Or, like, no one's like, oh, I'm being gaming. And no. No one is like, oh, I've been gaming. No. If you look at all the cases, it's always like, oh, I was gaming the night before, turn my PC off, come back the next day, doesn't turn on. Same as in my country. In my country, two guys had the same issue. Very early in Ryzen's lifespan, I said something about the CPU's dying. Same thing happened. Guy called Pac-Man, or his gamer tags, Pac-Man, very nice guy, has no idea how to OC. Me and my friend Morgan literally had to teach this guy what Expo was, to even, like, you know, enable it and stuff like that. And he was running auto settings. One day his CPU just didn't work. Dead. And probably the same issue. Now, could this be SoC? Of course. But why would SoC's rail be able to dump that kind of... I mean, guys, think about it. These CPUs were like 200 degrees Celsius. Hot enough to melt the solder underneath the IHS. Hot enough to cause welts on the bottom of the chip's substrate. Like, I mean, these were warm CPUs, guys. To create a 200 degrees Celsius environment, guys, just imagine... I mean, your cooler's working. Like, the cooler you have, it's working. Like, assuming it's not dead, what kind of wattage would you require to hit 200 degrees Celsius? Like, I mean, like, you'd need like 500, 600 watts unchecked, you know, on like an AIO. Like, my Arctic 420 can cool 180 watts at 90 C, no problem, right? So, to get to 200 degrees, you need to overpower it. You need to really, like, overpower the CPU's, the CPU cooler's, like, capabilities. I mean, like, at least 400 watts, something like that, you know? And how are you gonna achieve that? How are you gonna grab, you know, 400 watts of heat from electrically speaking, it would be current. So, like, how would you grab, you know, enough current, like I say, 250 amps, 300 amps from the SoC? How could you? How could you grab 250, 300 amperes from this rail? This rail. Right? Or this rail. Really? 200 amps coming from this rail. The 2 power stages. Oh, this rail. 2 power stages. Guys, if you try and grab 200 amps plus from 2 power stages, that can't even... Guys, power stages aren't even meant to be run maxed out. That's obvious. Like, the efficiency curves are like way in the middle ground. Maybe like up to like 70% or whatever. If you're grabbing more than the power stages even have in them completely, it's like no shot, dude. No shot. And dude, this is why I'm very confused by Asus's decision to do the whole SoC cap. In my opinion, I mean, all due respect to Asus, like, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, trash talk and pretend like I'm a know-it-all, but dude, like, come on, guys. Like, let's be real here, right? Was the SoC cap cope? Because it might have been cope. I believe it was cope. Because I think what happened there was Asus and other vendors and AMD are trying to mitigate disaster. They're trying to avoid people being like, oh shit, this is not safe to buy. Because any given CPU on any given day can just die. Up and die. And the thing is, saying it's SoC and like, oh, your Expo is drawing too much SoC, that's causing the oxide. That's really cope, guys. That I've interacted with a lot of guys on the comment sections and in person that I'm sorry, guys, you have no idea what you're talking. You literally are completely like lost. You have no idea how even the most basic electrical engineering works in this regard. Like, you know, not even a shred of a clue. Like, dude, how... Guys, bear with me. Okay, your CPU's dying. Okay, it dies. Right, dead. On boot. Dead. Completely gone. Okay. Scenario. Right. CPU dead. 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 Okay. Can't initialize. Can't enact. MB. Agisa. TJ Maxx. Okay, cool. What then? Well, I'll tell you what then. My motherboard, when I don't set PBO to motherboard limits, which is, by the way, the default, I get weird bugginess. Basically, I need to run the motherboard specified limits to get my CPU to even behave normally. So, bit of info. I need motherboard. Wait. Limits to not have buggy behavior on my CPU. Ultra low, V-core, and weird. And you guys know what ultra low V-core and Ryzen does. It causes weird, like, you know, apps disappearing, all that shit, you know, OS destruction, i.e. OS destruction on AMD CPUs. So, what is my motherboard limit? Well, as you can see, TDC and EDC are 320 and 400 respectively. PPT is a cool 480. Now, in what measurements, you might ask? Well, yeah, they are. Amperes, and watts. Now, what would happen if I killed my CPU right now and I allowed the motherboard limits to enact? And the short is drawing the motherboard limits from the V-core VRM. By the way, these motherboard limits are well within my VR. Dude, my VRM will, dude, it's not even sweating. Like, if my CPU tried to draw TDC from the board, dude, that's 28% of the current handling. That's easy, dude. That's nothing. That's completely calm. That's happy days, bro. My motherboard's like, what's this? What's the problem? Like, I'm chill, bro. You want 320 amps? You have to, bro. Take it. Take those amps, bro. Have at them. No problem, sir. The CPU's like, this thing is dead. And the motherboard's like, yo, you want the amp? Take it, have it. Here you go. And what the hell happens? Well, this happens. Okay, hypothetically speaking, if I hit 480 watts on my dead CPU, my CPU would cook. It would literally cook right there in the socket. Like, right there. It would cook itself sick. It would literally, like, cook a hole through the effing substrate, right? Like, so, if left long enough, bro, if you left one of these chips long enough, bro, that substrate's, like, charred and melted. Bro, wait, like, 10 hours and, bro, you're gonna have, like, a fire on your hands, bro. Like, for real. Like, for real. I mean, probably, right? I mean, dude, if you had 200 degrees climbing and, like, dude, as it starts getting crazier and crazier, I mean, the stuff around the socket starts getting unsoldered. I mean, like, at, like, 300 degrees, 400 degrees, bro, like, your caps around your socket are getting unsoldered. I mean, talking, like, the caps within the socket as well, behind the socket, the RAM sticks are gonna, dude, everything in that area is just goodbye. Like, dude, if you don't see your CPU turn on healthily, and you think it might have died, just turn it off. Like, do not leave that thing there trying to train and go make yourself a sandwich or, like, oatmeal or something, or go make noodles with, no, dude, if you leave that thing there for, like, an hour, you could have some, like, serious consequence. I'm talking, like, dangerous consequence. I'm talking, like, you come back and there's, like, smoke, and there's, like, just gunk everywhere. There's, like, just disgusting, whatever, like, lead solder, it's just disgusting, right? So, just be careful, guys. So, that's to comment on the whole thing of, like, why is there, this is the limit. Like, a lot of boards use motherboard as their stock limits on PPO, which most customers run stock, and stock limits on motherboard, which is this. So at stock, you're running this. This is stock. Like, unless you enable, like, eco mode. But, I don't even know if, I'm thinking what's happening is, the hard-coded firmware limits of the motherboard might enact before any sort of, configurable limits. So why do I say? Because I think if there was, like, then theoretically speaking, if you're running PPO and locked in 95 degrees as your max temp, and your CPU died, if the motherboard was still operating according to its locked-in adjustments, whatever, or, like, whatever, it should theoretically shut down at 95 degrees. It shouldn't keep going. It should power the CPU off the moment it's 95. So, that's why I'm a bit confused. Because I don't think that's, because, I mean, then you could also be like, oh, well, limit to eco mode, and then it dies, and then it should, no, but not, it shouldn't be. I don't think it is. Because by that logic, then the max temp, which is 95 by order, should kick in. The issue is that when the CPU is shorted, it seems like the motherboard limits themselves, like the vendor's hard-coded, like, VRM controller. You could say, like, the VRM knows what its limits are, kind of thing. That kicks in, and that's way too high. That's way too fucking high. That's, like, not even remotely doable. Like, it's just gonna completely fry your chip and just everything in its area, when left just to draw current, indefinitely, right? So, basically, CPU dies, and vCore rail starts drawing 300 plus amps. And there you go. 200C after, like, 10 minutes of staring at a black screen, waiting for your RAM to train, or coping and hoping that 00 goes away on your postcode. And that's it. Simple. Nothing more. Guys, nothing more. There's no... It cannot be SoC. It cannot be. It cannot be. It can't be, guys. It can't be. Why? Because if SoC attempted to draw, like, 100 amps, like, that's already most of the SoC rail. Like, 120 amps in SoC. You're drawing 100. 100 is not much anyway, but 100, you're drawing 100. It would take a long ass time for your shit to. And dude, arguably speaking, at 100 amps, like, you should be able to cool it. Like, your CPU is not hitting 200 degrees Celsius with a constant 100 amp workload. Assuming your AIO is working. If your AIO or air cooler, like, if you have a Noctua D15 and your CPU starts shorting and drawing the max allowed current that the SoC rail can supply before the power stages straight up just die on you, like, you know, because if you try and draw like 200 amps through the SoC rail, this is dead, gone. A power stage is blown like that, gone. If you try and draw 200 amps via MISC, it might work for like a solid, you know, 30 minutes, and then off that you just pop, boom, gone again. The VRM will get way too warm, and I just don't think it's reasonable to assume this. I just, guys, the writing on the wall says VDDCR VDD pads, not the SoC pads, not the MISC pads. I think there was one picture from an ASRock client who had like a 7700X that had the middle pads, and then some guy said some of those were SoC. It's not SoC, guys. It's not SoC. It cannot be SoC. It's not reasonable. It doesn't make sense. It's vCore. And the issue is simple. Somewhere along the lines, AMD screwed up, and Nagisa or maybe some VRM controller on certain boards, when you initialize, if you're really unlucky, 2 volts, there you go, core short, oxide breakdown, CPU's dead, you don't know that, you're waiting, it's drawing 300 amps, waiting, 200 degrees Celsius in like 5 minutes, done. That's what happens. Like, literally, it's like, you're sitting there, just literally allowing the CPU to burn a hole and stuff. You don't even know. Completely unaware. And yeah. Do I think you should stay below 1.25 SoC anyway? Yes, I do. Why? Why? Because I promise you 6400 plus is a nightmare, and you don't need more than 1.25 SoC for 6200 and maybe like 2100 megahertz FCLK if you feel so inclined. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Very simple, nothing too difficult. I'm not really surprised. If anything, guys, this is just a sad L by AMD. I feel bad for them because they clearly had some sort of problem with the Gisa where there just isn't enough like limitations baked in for voltage requesting, or maybe the way the CPU talks to the VRM is there's something wrong there. Whatever. All I can say is the deaths seem to be aggregated along boards with the highest end RAA VRM controller, but also the PG Lightning and the Prime, no, X670-E Pro, yeah, the Asus one. So X670E Pro, don't know what they use. I haven't seen a case yet in like a gigabyte. Okay, wait, let me knock on wood. I haven't seen a X670 Elite like my board, or like maybe a cheaper MSI, you know, like a, you know, maybe like a you know, I'm talking cheap. I'm not talking like a carbon. I'm talking like a cheapy board, you know, like an Edge or something. I don't know what they have on AMD. I haven't seen a cheapy MSI or Gigabyte exhibit this yet, so I'm hoping it's okay. When I say I'm hoping, look, guys, I'm hoping my shit doesn't die. So I mean, I'm just gonna say I'm hoping it doesn't happen to me. But like, if it happens to you, it sucks. Just RMA it. Do not try and, if your CPU, if you're sure that thing is not booting, and you start smelling something weird, or like you go put your hand near the socket, it starts feeling like warm, like, you know, centimeters away, then yeah, you're in trouble. Like, just turn that shit off. The human body is like over 70% water, and guys, water's boiling point, you know what it is. So when a human hand comes like close to like 100 degrees plus, you can very easily feel it radiating not too far away. So you don't have to touch it, just like, and turn it off right away. RMA it. Don't touch anything before it cools down. And that's that. Kill the PSU immediately. Just wait for it to cool down and get rid of it. AMD, please, AMD, like with the reference card thing, issue a press release, talk about this. Don't hide. Don't bullshit. Don't fucking tell Asus to lie about SoC rail and try and bamboozle your audience of noobs that don't know what the power stage even is. Just please, guys, just handle this well, I beg. And make sure that all the channels know what's up, what's popping. Because, guys, in countries like my own, like, I don't know if those guys got... Pac-Man got an RMA. I don't know if Woodward saw a burn at the bottom of his pads, but look, make sure that channels know, because, guys, a lot of countries have staff working in tech that aren't, like, nerds. They aren't, like, well-versed. Like, some of these people have no idea what this is. Like, they don't know what this is. Their customer might come to them with a broken board and a broken CPU and be like, listen, like, I did nothing. And they'll be like, sorry. And if you're gonna say Expo did it, fuck you. Straight up, fuck you. AMD, Asus, anyone, vendors, if you tell a customer that their shit's broken because they enabled Expo, fuck yourself. Like, just fuck yourself. You're a shit person, fuck you. All I gotta say. You know what it was. Don't be stupid. Don't play dumb. You're not fooling anyone that has, above 100 IQ. Just please be honest. It is what it is. It's fine. It happens. No one's mad. No one is mad, okay? Until someone's house burns down, you guys are good. You're good, okay? Just fix this. Fix it. Like, this is not fixing it. This is not like... This and then, hold on. Wait, overclock.net. Dude, I'm on fire right now. I'm roasting AMD, dude. I'm like fucking roasting them. But, no, like, let's be real, guys. We have to, get this shit sorted. Like, this has to, here we go. This is such cope, this is such cope, man. Come on. Are you kidding me, dude? Like, for the 3D parts, as if this hasn't happened to non... Come on, guys. Are we really doing this, man? I literally just told you that I know of people that had dead chips in the first month. Like, it's probably the same issue. It's just a bug. It happens, man. It's fine. It happens. Just arm this shit. You guys are billionaires. You guys don't care about a fucking... 1,000 CPU samples that die. You don't care. Like, fix it. It's fine. We'll still buy your stuff. Don't worry about it. Like, no harm done. Like, it's nothing. It's no big deal. Like, So, this is just cope. Like, fuck this. This is cope. Fuck this. Like, no, fuck this, dude. This is stupid. Like, Asus, no. Like, just fuck this, dude. This is stupid. This is so dumb. Like, this is useless. Like, absolutely useless. Like, completely just... Fucking congratulations for confusing your customers and, like, making them think that you fixed the problem when it's literally, like, what the fuck did you do? Did Asus literally go 4 days ago, buy, like, 10,000 chips, and somehow manage to burn a hole in them with the SoC rail? How many boards did you break? I don't believe that. Because to do that with SoC, bro, even on the X670 Extreme, which probably has the best SoC rail imaginable, even on that board, bro, you're gonna struggle to do, like, 300 amps. Nah, dude, just stop. Nah, just stop it. There's no way. Nah, fuck it. There's no way. Like, yo, this what this guy says. No, not even, dude, not even. Like, no, this is not even, dude. It's not the SoC, dude. Come on, guys. Why are we so stupid? Like, why do we do this? I don't get why gamers are always, like, so, like, easily persuaded. Like, oh, okay, so you're saying it's this? Well, but no, it's this. Trust us. And it's like, okay, sure, dude. It's like, fuck, dude, man. It's so stupid. Like, we get so railed by these companies, crazy. Like, we literally get bent over by all these companies. And, like, I don't understand why, like, the average person can't be like, listen, we know you're engineers, but this is fucking dumb. Like, Like, it's not like they don't know that what they're doing is dumb. Like, in all honesty, it's probably marketing department. Half the time it's marketing. Marketing are the ones that fucking conjure up this nonsense. Like, because it's a marketing and sales job to keep the company afloat. They're the ones that... It's a business. AMD is a company. They're engineers, yes. Yes, they are. They're a company. They have margins. They got books. They've got, like, you know, financial records. They've got, like, shareholders and shit, dude. They're on the stock market, bro. Like, the fucking JSE or whatever, dude. Like, they're inevitably, like, they're just people selling you shit. They're salespeople, what they are. And they're gonna try and find a way to convince you that they have a wrap on the issue and that it's simple to fix, and it's like, it's really, we know what it is. We're gonna expo and this, no. The truth is, more than likely, this just happens and there's no real fix. Probably. And we'll know this if more chips start dying that aren't expoed or that aren't, you know, running unsafe expo voltages or unsafe SoC voltages. Look, guys, come on now. Do better. Like, why do we pretend... Like, I like Bullzoid. Bullzoid's a fucking gem, dude. Like, I'm so glad he said what he said. Like, DeBauer and everyone, please, guys, you guys aren't idiots. Come on now, you know better. Like, I mean, I guess because you talk to the vendors, you have to be, like, careful and stuff. You have to, like, be respectful. But, dude, come on now, you know better. Like, come on. Like, you know it's not the SoC. You already know this, dude. Like, and DeBauer in his video even tested up to, like, 1.5 SoC. He wasn't getting oxide breakdown at 1.5. Like, dude, who does 1.5? Dude, like, come on, man. You think 1.35 caused oxide breakdown? Was it LLC on the rail? Like... Was there, like, LLC or something, and then, like, because the LLC is so crazy, it, like, caused the massive transient high, and then, boom, gone oxide breakdown, and then somehow your SoC powers just magically just survived powering, like, 400 amps, and there you go. Like, I just cannot believe that. The answer is right in front of us. VDDCR pads are the most effective pads. The V-core power rail is strong. Every single board, it's got more than enough power. Every single board has an absurd current limit on VDDCR rail, on the core cache rail. Absurd, crazy amounts of power available, and your VRM can run that power no problem. It won't blow up. It's easy for it to do. If you even come close, 300 amps with a 420 AIO being drawn perpetually will cause CPU to fucking climb all the way up to fucking 1,000 degrees. Because you know what? Your AIO is not cooling that. It's not cooling 300 fucking amps. There's no way. So, yeah. Even at the standby volts, whatever it is, like, I don't know. There's no way. So, that's what's happening. Like, it's such a simple problem. Now, I got worked up, yes. Why? Because I don't like where we get lied to. I don't enjoy it. It's so annoying. When people lie to us and use us and put, like, these weird ideas in our heads when we have the answer right in front of us. And it's like, okay, if the issue is that it's random and random chips die and random VRMs die and or not die, but random VRMs exhibit this behavior. So what? Like, we know what happens with startup. That's number one. Startup. So you know it's a standby or it's a cold boot, you know, VRM initialization type issue, right? So then fix it. Right? Fix it. Like, go to speak to RAA if you have to, right? Fix it. Okay? Like, that's it. That's all. Nothing more than... Nothing less. And I bet Intel could have the exact same issue. It's no big thing, right? Like Al Pacino said in the movie Heat. It's no big thing. It's no big thing. Like, it's fine. Like, just fix it. That's all. Like, when vendors lie to us, like, something comes out of me, bro. Like, something comes out of me. Like, when vendors lie to us and bullshit that isn't helpful gets, like, spouted everywhere, it makes me mad. Like, I get really crazy, dude. Like, so, yeah. That's that, guys. I will check you guys likely in the comments. So, this should be fun. But anyway, cheers.